Hi class, here's some more help with rearranging, particularly when you have to rearrange to make an equation equal 0. Now, the reason we try and make that happen is so we can help solve something. So we have to try to find the value of x. So there's two ways. The first is, if we have an x by itself, so there's no x squared, like this one here, what we're going to do is we want to get the x on one side and the numbers on the other side first. So in this case, I would actually take away 19 here and take away 19 here, and I get 5x equals negative 15. Then I can divide both sides by 5 and I can get x equals negative 3. So that's a very simple solution of a linear equation. And a linear equation is when there's no x squared, it's just an x by itself. Okay, but what I really want to show you today is what we're going to be doing in the case where we have x squareds. So you can see over here, we've got a couple x squared terms, and we really want to simplify these by adding all the like terms together and try and make it so the whole equation is on one side and it equals to 0. So the first thing I'm going to do is I always want to note down, okay, my task is to make this equal 0. And I'm going to do that one step at a time by undoing things on the right-hand side. So over here, if I've got 4x squared on this side, well, I want to move that to this side. That means I'm going to take away 4x squared from both sides. With the negative 3x, I would do the opposite of that. So I would add 3x to both sides. So here I put minus 4x squared. And then I've got plus 14. So I'm going to take away 14 on this side, minus 14. So if I do that, if I go 5x squared, take away 4x squared, I'm left with 1x squared. If I get my 4x and add on my 3x, I should get plus 7x. Then I've got my negative 4 minus 14. I get minus 18. And all that is equal to 0 because what I've done is that's cancelled, the x's have been cancelled, and the x squareds have been cancelled. So what I've done is I essentially moved everything over from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. The reason I do that is because now once I have an equation that looks like this, I should think about what can I do now. And what I can do is I can now factorize. So let's move this up. So I can now factorize this and then solve it. So if I think of this, I look at factors of 18. 1, 18, 2, and 9. I can straight away tell 2 and 9 has a difference of 7. So I think that's going to be plus 9, because it's plus 7, and minus 2. So it's going to be x minus 2, x plus 9 equals 0. So I factorized. And then, of course, I can solve. That means x must be positive 2, so it's the opposite of what's in the bracket. And x equals negative 9, because it's the opposite of what's in the bracket. So you can see how we went from something that was pretty confusing and looks really complicated. Once we get everything to one side, it becomes an easy factorizing question. So let's do a couple more. More likely ones you're going to get will look like these two questions. So if I get x squared plus 7x equals 18, what I want to do is I want to move that 18 from this side across to that side. And so all I'm going to get is x squared plus 7x. And this 18, when we move it across, will become minus 18 equals 0. Right, and then we can factorize it like we've just done. And in fact, this is the same one we just did. So it's going to be x plus 9, x minus 2. Always keep that equals 0 at the end. Therefore, x will equal negative 9, and x will equal positive 2. Okay. Sometimes we get something like this where I can't just move the 10 across because I need to first expand to the side. So examples here, my first step is going to be to expand. So if I expand this, it means I'm multiplying the outside by the inside. I'm going to get x times x is x squared. And then x times negative 3 will be minus 3x equals 10. So now I can rearrange this to make it equal 0 by moving that 10 across. So that's going to come over here. So I'm going to get x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And again, once I get to this point, I go, this is something I can expand. And if I look at my factors of 10, I've got 1, 10, 2, and 5. And I can see a difference of 3. So I think it's going to be plus 2 minus 5. Here are my two numbers. So I'll get x minus 2 in brackets, x plus 2, x minus 5 equals 0. So then x equals negative 2 and x equals positive 5. So those are some examples of not just how we arrange, but why we rearrange equations. Please use this video, pause it at different places, and just check that you understand each of those steps. To revise this one here, we did expanding, then we rearranged, then we factorized, and then we solved. So 4 skills that we can put into one question. And when you combine those skills, that's how you're going to be getting the merits and the excellences in the MCAT. That's it for now. See you again soon.